Antoine Johnson has been in and out of prisons for decades, but he'll never forget how he felt when he first arrived. Lost, confused, angry. It took him a while to assimilate, and he made a lot of mistakes. So now he wants to help others by offering the prison survival tips he wishes he'd had. 1. Avoid drugs. The silent destroyer in prison. Drugs are the single most dangerous force in prison. They're not just a problem, they're a plague. From my own observations and first-hand experiences, I've seen countless inmates, young and old, fall into the abyss of drug use. It's a cycle that consumes lives, destroys dignity, and turns even the most disciplined individuals into shadows of their former selves. If you take nothing else from this guide, let it be this: stay away from drugs at all costs. Let's break down why they're so pervasive, how they infiltrate every corner of prison life, and why they're a death trap waiting to claim you. The allure of escape. Prison is a pressure cooker. Whether you're staring down a life sentence, grappling with the loss of a loved one, or simply drowning in the monotony of concrete walls and steel bars, the weight of it all can feel unbearable. Drugs, whether it's methamphetamine, marijuana, K2, sprayed paper, heroin, or cocaine, offer a temporary escape. They promise a fleeting moment of relief, a way to numb the pain or quiet the chaos in your mind. For a 24-year-old kid who just got handed a life sentence, that promise can seem like the only light in a very dark tunnel. For someone older, maybe dealing with regrets or a broken family, it's a way to forget, even if just for a few hours. But here's the brutal truth: that escape comes at a cost, and it's almost always higher than you can afford. Drugs in prison aren't just a quick high. They're a one-way ticket to dependency, debt, and destruction. The moment you take that first hit, you're stepping onto a path that's incredibly hard to walk back from. I've seen men who were once sharp, strong, and full of potential reduced to desperate shells, willing to do anything for their next fix. They lie, they steal, they betray their closest friends, all for a hit that barely lasts. The danger of the unknown. One of the most terrifying aspects of drug use in prison is the lack of control over what you're actually putting into your body. On the streets, drugs are risky enough, but in prison, it's a whole different level of danger. There's no quality control, no way to know what's been mixed into that powder, paper, or pill. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid that's 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine, has infiltrated prison drug supplies in a big way. A single miscalculation, a batch that's been laced or cut with fent, can be fatal. I've heard stories of inmates who took a hit of what they thought was weed or K2, only to never wake up. The stakes are life and death, and you're rolling the dice every time. Even if the drugs aren't laced with something deadly, the risk of overdose is ever present. Inmates aren't exactly measuring doses with scientific precision. You're trusting someone who's probably just as desperate as you are to get high, and that's a recipe for disaster. The prison infirmary isn't equipped to handle overdoses the way a hospital would, and by the time help arrives, if it arrives at all, it's often too late. The financial trap. Drugs in prison aren't cheap, and they're not free. If you've got access to money, maybe a loved one on the outside who can send funds via Cash App or other means, you're an easy target. Dealers in prison know this, and they're masters at exploiting it. That first hit might come at a discount, or even as a free sample to get you hooked. But once you're in, the price skyrockets, and so does your dependency. I've seen guys drain their families' bank accounts, beg their mothers for money under false pretenses, and sell off everything they own: clothes, shoes, TVs, even their food trays, just to keep up with their habit. If you don't have money, it's even worse. You might think you can work off your debt by running errands for the dealer or doing their dirty work, but that's a trap too. You're not just indebted financially. You're indebted in ways that can cost you your safety, your reputation, or your life. Dealers don't mess around when it comes to collecting, and if you can't pay, you might find yourself on the wrong end of a shank or a beatdown. The cycle of debt and desperation is relentless, and it's designed to keep you trapped. The social pressure. Prison is a small, tightly knit world, and word travels fast. If drugs are circulating in your unit, and they almost certainly are, you'll know it. You'll smell the faint skunk of weed drifting through the air vents, overhear hushed conversations about K2 paper, or get approached by someone offering you a hit. The pressure to partake can be intense, especially if you're new and trying to fit in. Saying no isn't always easy when it feels like everyone around you is doing it. And make no mistake, the dealers and users aren't just offering out of the goodness of their hearts. They're looking for new customers, new people to pull into their web. For younger inmates, the social aspect is even harder to resist. If you're 19 or 20, fresh in the system, and trying to find your place, drugs can seem like a way to bond with others. You might think a quick hit will earn you respect or make you part of the group. But that's an illusion. The guys pushing drugs aren't your friends. They're predators, and you're the prey. They'll keep you coming back, keep you spending, until you're too deep to climb out. The levels of drug use. Not all drug use in prison looks the same, and it's important to understand the spectrum. In my experience, if you take 10 inmates, any age, any race, first-timers or seasoned vets, 8 out of 10 are using something. That's not an exaggeration, it's the reality I've seen. But using doesn't always mean shooting heroin or snorting meth. There are levels to it, and they all carry risks. Take me, for example. I'm 48 years old, and I'll be straight with you. I drink prison hooch, and I smoke Newports. That's my vice, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. A cold drink and a cigarette help me unwind, cope with the stress, and pass the time. But that's where I draw the line. I don't smoke weed. I've never touched meth, cocaine, or heroin, and I've never popped a pill. It's not because I'm some saint. It's because I've seen what those drugs do. I haven't smoked weed since I was a teenager, and even then, it wasn't my thing. Now, I'm not here to judge. The guy next to me who sniffs a little meth or takes a piece of a Suboxone strip isn't any worse than me with my hooch. In the eyes of the prison system, it's all contraband, and we're all breaking the rules. But there's a difference, at least in my view. Hard drugs like meth, heroin, or even prescription pills like Suboxone pull you into a deeper, darker hole. They lead to addiction that's harder to shake, and they come with behaviors that can ruin you. Stealing, lying, selling your stuff, or resorting to violence to get your next hit. Those are the traits that make you a target, that make you vulnerable in a place where vulnerability is a death sentence. Even my drinking isn't without risk. If I overdo it, if I get sloppy or let my guard down, it could lead to trouble. Maybe a fight, maybe a run-in with the guards. But hard drugs? They're a different beast entirely. They don't just control you. They control the entire prison ecosystem. The infrastructure of drugs. Drugs aren't just a personal problem in prison. They're a systemic one. They're woven into the very fabric of how things operate. From the inmates who use to the dealers who supply to the guards who sometimes turn a blind eye, or worse, profit from it. Drugs are a currency, a power structure, and a way of life. They influence everything. Who gets respect, who gets targeted, who runs the unit. If you get caught up in that world, you're not just risking your health or your money. You're stepping into a game where the stakes are impossibly high. Dealers in prison aren't your average street hustlers. They're organized, manipulative, and ruthless. They know how to spot weakness, how to prey on the naive or the desperate. If you're new, they'll size you up within days, figuring out if you've got money, connections, or a willingness to try something just once. And once they've got you, they don't let go. They'll keep you hooked, keep you owing, until you're either broke, broken, or both. The infrastructure extends beyond the dealers. Inmates who aren't using are still affected. Maybe you're not into drugs, but your bunkmate is, and now you're at risk of getting caught in a shakedown when the guards toss your cell. Or maybe you're just trying to mind your own business, but a drug deal gone wrong in your unit sparks a fight, and suddenly you're caught in the crossfire. Drugs don't just destroy the user, they ripple out, creating chaos for everyone. How to stay clean. So how do you avoid this trap? It's not easy, but it's possible. It starts with discipline and a clear understanding of what's at stake. Here are some practical tips to keep you clean. Set boundaries early. When you first arrive, make it clear you're not interested in drugs. You don't have to be aggressive about it. Just be firm. A simple "nah, I'm good" can go a long way. The sooner people know you're not a potential customer, the less they'll bother you. Find healthy outlets. Prison is boring, stressful, and isolating, which makes drugs tempting. Find other ways to cope. Read books, exercise, write letters, or pick up a hobby like drawing or chess. Anything that keeps your mind and body occupied is a weapon against temptation. Choose your circle wisely. The people you hang with will shape your experience. Surround yourself with inmates who aren't using, who have goals or a sense of purpose. They exist, even if they're harder to find. Avoid the guys who are always talking about getting high or scheming to score. Protect your money. If you've got access to funds, be discreet. Don't flash cash or talk about your family's ability to send money. Dealers and users will pick up on that like sharks smelling blood. Keep your financial situation private. Stay focused on your future. Whether you're in for 6 months or 60 years, you've got a life to live. Drugs will steal that from you. Remind yourself why you're staying clean. Maybe it's for your kids, your freedom, or just your own self-respect. Hold on to that reason like a lifeline. Know the consequences, beyond the health risks. Drug use in prison can lead to solitary confinement, loss of privileges, or an extended sentence. The guards aren't your friends, and they're always watching. Getting caught with drugs, or even being suspected, can make your time harder than it needs to be. The bottom line: drugs in prison are a trap disguised as an escape. They'll promise you relief, but they'll deliver misery. They'll take your money, your dignity, and maybe even your life. The stats don't lie. 8 out of 10 inmates are caught up in some form of drug use, and the majority of those are on a path to nowhere. You don't have to be one of them. It takes strength, discipline, and a clear head, but you can stay clean. You can survive. And in a place like prison, survival is everything. 2. Beware the gang culture inside prison. Gangs are the heartbeat of the prison system, controlling an estimated 80% of every facet of life behind bars, from the mundane to the deadly. In Virginia prisons, and likely across the country, they are the second most dangerous trap for any inmate, especially those newly incarcerated. Falling into the orbit of gang culture can define your entire prison experience, often in ways that lead to violence, exploitation, or a lifetime of regret. Gangs are responsible for 90% of the violence in prison: fights, stabbings, staff assaults, and turf wars, and their influence extends far beyond physical conflict. To survive, you need to understand the allure, the dangers, and the strategies to steer clear. Let's break it down. The power and presence of gangs. Prison is a world where power is everything, and gangs hold the lion's share of it. They control the flow of contraband, drugs, weapons, even food and canteen items. They dictate who gets access to the phone kiosks, who sits where in the chow hall, and who walks away unscathed from a dispute. Gangs are the unofficial government of the prison, and their rules often carry more weight than those of the guards. From my experience, their influence is so pervasive that it's nearly impossible to avoid brushing up against them, whether you're trying to or not. The major players, Bloods, Crips, Aryan Brotherhood, Latin Kings, and others, operate like organized crime syndicates. They have hierarchies, codes of conduct, and a ruthless efficiency that ensures their dominance. Smaller, regional gangs or prison-specific crews also carve out their own territories, often aligning with the bigger players for protection or profit. These groups aren't just about camaraderie. They're about control. They control the drug trade, the gambling rackets, and even the black market for everyday items like cigarettes or extra ramen packets. If you're in a prison unit, you're living in their world, whether you like it or not. The violence tied to gangs is staggering. Fights break out over disrespect, unpaid debts, or simply to assert dominance. Stabbings, often with homemade shanks crafted from sharpened toothbrushes or smuggled metal, are a grim reality. I've seen rival gang members target each other over something as trivial as a stolen pack of cigarettes, only for it to escalate into a full-blown unit lockdown. Staff assaults, though less common, are often gang-orchestrated, either as retaliation or to send a message. Even seemingly minor disputes, like who gets to use the phone first, can spiral into chaos when gang affiliations are involved. The ripple effect touches everyone, even those trying to stay neutral. The allure of gang life. For many inmates, especially the young or vulnerable, gangs are a siren song. They promise power, protection, and a sense of belonging, things that are in short supply behind bars. Imagine you're 19, freshly incarcerated, and scared out of your mind. You're away from your family, surrounded by strangers, and the weight of a 5-year sentence is crushing you. Then a group of guys approaches you. They're confident, they're respected, and they're offering you a place in their circle. They tell you they've got your back, that no one will mess with you if you're with them. For someone who's never had real friends, never felt part of something bigger, that offer is almost impossible to resist. The allure isn't just about safety. Gangs offer a sense of identity and purpose in a place that strips you of both. Prison is dehumanizing. Your name becomes a number. Your days blend into a monotonous grind. Joining a gang gives you a role, a status, a reason to get up in the morning. For some, it's about the thrill of power. You see the gang leaders walking the yard like kings, commanding respect with a nod or a glance, and you want that for yourself. For others, it's about survival. If you're small, timid, or an obvious target, aligning with a gang can feel like your only shield against predators. Young inmates are particularly vulnerable. Many come from broken homes or rough neighborhoods where they never had a support system. They've never known loyalty or camaraderie. So the idea of a group of brothers willing to fight for you is intoxicating. I've seen kids, 18, 19 years old, get swept up in gang life because it's the first time they've felt like they belonged anywhere. They don't see the strings attached, the price they'll pay for that sense of family. And by the time they do, it's often too late. The hidden costs of gang affiliation. Joining a gang might seem like a ticket to power or protection, but it's a deal with the devil. The moment you pledge allegiance, you're signing up for a life of obligations, risks, and moral compromises. Gangs don't operate on trust, they operate on control. You're not just a member, you're a soldier, expected to follow orders without question. Those orders might include smuggling contraband, collecting debts, or carrying out violence against a rival or even a fellow inmate who stepped out of line. Refuse, and you're not just out, you're a target. The violence is relentless. Gangs don't just fight to win, they fight to send a message. A slight against one member is a slight against the whole crew, and retaliation is swift and brutal. I've seen guys get jumped for something as small as looking at a gang member the wrong way. Stabbings are common, and they're not always about killing. Sometimes it's about marking someone, leaving them scarred as a warning to others. If you're in a gang, you're expected to participate, whether it's throwing punches or holding a shank. Hesitate, and you're seen as weak, which is a death sentence in itself. Then there's the psychological toll. Gang life is a constant state of paranoia. You're always watching your back, not just for rival gangs, but for betrayal within your own ranks. Loyalties shift, and today's brother could be tomorrow's snitch. The pressure to prove yourself never ends. Every day is a test of your commitment, your toughness, your willingness to put the gang above everything else. That includes your family on the outside, your own moral code, and any hope of a better future. Gangs also tie you to a cycle of incarceration. Many gang members end up with extended sentences because of crimes committed inside: assault, drug trafficking, even murder. Parole boards don't look kindly on gang affiliation, and the label follows you long after you leave prison. On the outside, you're still tied to the gang, expected to represent and contribute, whether it's through crime or recruitment. It's a life sentence, even if your actual sentence isn't. The recruitment game. Gangs are always looking for new blood, and they're masters at spotting recruits. They target the vulnerable, new inmates, young guys, those who seem lost or scared. The recruitment process is subtle at first. It might start with a friendly conversation, an offer to share food or cigarettes, or a casual invite to hang out in the yard. They're testing you, sizing you up to see if you're impressionable or desperate. If you take the bait, the pressure ramps up. They'll talk up the benefits, protection, respect, a sense of family, while downplaying the risks. For some, recruitment is less about choice and more about survival. If you're in a prison where gangs dominate, staying neutral can feel impossible. Gangs might pressure you to pick a side, especially if you're from a neighborhood or racial group tied to a particular crew. Refusing can make you a target, caught in the crossfire of rivalries you didn't sign up for. I've seen guys join gangs not because they wanted to, but because they felt they had no other way to stay safe. The manipulation doesn't stop once you're in. Gangs use a mix of loyalty and fear to keep members in line. You're told you're part of a brotherhood, but that brotherhood comes with strings. You're expected to put the gang first, even if it means sacrificing your own well-being. Fail to deliver, and the consequences are severe: beatings, ostracism, or worse. I've heard stories of members being greenlit, marked for violence by their own gang for breaking the code. It's a brutal system designed to keep everyone in check. The ripple effect: even if you don't join a gang, their presence shapes your daily life. Gangs create an atmosphere of tension and unpredictability. A fight in the chow hall might start over a gang dispute, but it can quickly pull in bystanders, forcing you to defend yourself or risk getting caught in the chaos. Lockdowns, a common response to gang-related violence, mean days or weeks confined to your cell, losing access to visits, recreation, or programs. The guards, often outnumbered and overwhelmed, might crack down harder on everyone, gang member or not, making life tougher for all. Gangs also fuel the prison economy. They control the flow of drugs, which we've already discussed as a plague. They run gambling operations, extort weaker inmates for canteen items, and even charge protection fees to those who want to avoid trouble. If you're trying to stay clean and independent, you might still find yourself pressured to pay up or risk becoming a target. It's a no-win situation, and it's why understanding gang dynamics is so critical. How to navigate gang culture. Avoiding gang culture requires strategy, awareness, and a strong sense of self. It's not easy, especially when their influence is everywhere, but it's possible. Here are some practical tips to keep you out of their grasp. Stay neutral, but smart. Declaring yourself independent is a good start, but don't be naive. Gangs respect strength, not weakness. Carry yourself with confidence, but avoid antagonizing anyone. If approached, be polite but firm. I'm just here to do my time. Don't owe anyone favors, and don't accept gifts. Nothing in prison is free. Choose your battles. You don't have to join a gang to survive, but you do need to know when to stand your ground. If you're pressured to pick a side, deflect without offending. For example, you might say you're staying out of politics to focus on your case or your family. Most gangs will respect that, at least initially, as long as you don't come off as weak. Build your own network. Find other inmates who share your mindset, guys who are focused on doing their time and staying out of trouble. They're out there, even if they're a minority. A small, reliable circle can provide the camaraderie you need without the strings of gang life. Mind your business. Prison is a gossip mill, and gangs thrive on information. Don't get involved in rumors, don't take sides in disputes, and don't share personal details. The less you're seen as a player in the game, the less attention you'll draw. Leverage programs and activities. If your prison offers education, work, or religious programs, get involved. These can keep you busy, give you a purpose, and put you in contact with inmates who aren't gang-affiliated. Plus, they show the guards and parole board you're focused on rehabilitation, not trouble. Know the landscape. Every prison is different, and so is its gang dynamic. Pay attention to who's who, which groups hold power, and where the tensions lie. Knowledge is power. It lets you anticipate trouble and avoid hotspots like certain tables in the chow hall or corners of the yard. Respect without submission. You don't have to bow to gangs, but you do need to show basic respect. A nod, a what's good, or simply staying out of their way can keep the peace. Disrespect, real or perceived, can escalate quickly, so be mindful of your words and actions. The bottom line: gang culture is a force of nature in prison, shaping everything from the daily routine to the power dynamics. It's tempting for some, a path to power, protection, or belonging, but it's a path lined with danger. The violence, the obligations, the loss of freedom within an already unfree world. It's not worth it. Gangs control 80% of prison life, but you control your choices. Stay sharp, stay independent, and stay focused on getting through your time with your body and soul intact. In prison, survival isn't just about staying alive, it's about staying you. Inside prison, you're not just serving time, you're fighting to hold on to who you are. In a world ruled by violence, temptation, and shadows creeping through every corner, you've got two choices: become the prey, or stand your ground and survive as a man. Stay away from drugs. Stay away from gangs. Because once you're in, the line between survival and self-destruction is only one decision away.